Welcome back to the channel. You might think a penny is just a penny, but what if I told you that some Lincoln cents are worth millions? That's right. Some ultra-rare 1-cent coins have sold for staggering amounts at auction, making them some of the most valuable coins in the world. If you have a jar of pennies lying around, you might want to check for these rare treasures. Stay tuned as we reveal the top 7 most valuable ultra-rare Lincoln 1-cent pennies worth millions. Did you know that a simple 1941 Lincoln penny could be worth thousands of dollars today? Some rare varieties have been sold for as much as $94,888. Imagine finding one of these valuable coins in your pocket change. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating history of the 1941 Lincoln penny, what makes some of them incredibly rare, and how much they're worth in today's coin market. The 1941 Lincoln penny was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints during a time when the world was on the brink of World War II. The U.S. economy was shifting toward wartime production, but pennies were still being made from copper, as steel cents wouldn't appear until 1943. With over 887 million pennies minted that year, most of them were common. But hidden among them are some rare gems that collectors are willing to pay thousands for. Not all 1941 pennies are created equal. Their value depends on several key factors, including common, but high-grade ones can be valuable. Less common, especially in uncirculated condition. Scarcer and more desirable for collectors. Rare errors and varieties. Some 1941 pennies have doubled features in Lincoln's portrait, lettering, or date, making them extremely valuable. Off-center strikes. If the design is not properly centered, these coins can fetch high prices. Clipped planchets. A coin missing a piece due to an error in the minting process. Repunched mint marks. Some have mint marks that were stamped more than once, creating a noticeable doubling effect. Circulated pennies are worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars. Uncirculated coins are worth hundreds or even thousands. Proof coins from special mint sets are highly valuable to collectors. Now let's talk about money. How much are 1941 Lincoln pennies worth in today's market? Here are some recent prices from auctions and coin dealers. Common circulated 1941 pennies, around 10 cents to $2. Mint state pennies, around $20 to $1.50. Rare high-grade MS-67 plus coins, $1,000 to $5,000. Error pennies like DDO or RPM varieties, $5,000 to $20,000. Highest recorded sale. A rare 1941 MS-68 red Lincoln penny sold for a staggering $94,888. That's right, nearly $100,000 for a penny. So how can you find one of these valuable pennies? Here are some tips. Check your pocket change. You never know what you might find in everyday transactions. Look through old coin jars. Older pennies often get forgotten in collections. Visit estate sales or flea markets. Many people sell old coins without knowing their value. Coin roll hunting. Get rolls of pennies from banks and search through them for hidden treasures. Use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling, mint marks, or off-center strikes. If you think you've found a rare 1941 Lincoln penny, here's where you can sell it. eBay or online coin marketplaces, great for reaching collectors worldwide. Coin shows and auctions, professional grading can help you get top dollar. Local coin shops. Some dealers buy rare pennies on the spot. Third-party grading services. Companies like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin's authenticity and increase its value. The 1941 Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary coin, but rare varieties can be worth thousands. Whether you're a collector or just curious about coins, keep your eyes open. You never know when you might stumble upon a. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1944 Lincoln penny. This small yet mighty coin has taken the numismatic world by storm, with some rare specimens selling for as much as $84,888. That's right, a single penny worth a fortune. But why? What makes this coin so special? Stay tuned, and let's uncover its secrets, history, and current market value. To understand the true worth of the 1944 Lincoln penny, we need to travel back to the 1940s. The world was at war, and resources like copper were in high demand for military use. In 1943, the U.S. Mint temporarily replaced copper pennies with zinc-coated steel cents to conserve copper for war production. But in 1944, The U.S. Mint returned to using copper for pennies, utilizing repurposed shell casings from World War II battlefields. These pennies became known as shell case cents, made from a unique brass composition, 95% copper and 5% zinc. The Denver Mint, one of 3 U.S. mints producing coins at the time, struck over 430 million Lincoln cents in 1944. But within this large mintage, certain errors and varieties make some of these pennies incredibly valuable today. Now, let's talk about why the 1944 D. Lincoln penny is worth so much money. There are a few key factors that determine its value. Mint errors and rare varieties. Some 1944 D pennies were struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets instead of copper, making them extremely rare and valuable. High-grade condition. Coins that have survived in nearly perfect condition, graded as MS-67 or higher, are worth thousands of dollars. Double die and repunched mint marks. Some coins have doubling errors or repunched D mint marks, making them highly sought after by collectors. So, how much is the 1944 D penny worth today? Let's break it down. Regular circulated condition. If your 1944 D penny has been in circulation and shows wear, it's typically worth around 3 to 10 cents. Not much, right? Uncirculated condition. A well-preserved, shiny penny can be worth between $5 and $50. MS-66 and higher. The rarest, most pristine coins graded MS-67 or higher have sold at auctions for over $2,000. 1944 D steel penny. If you're lucky enough to find a 1944 D penny mistakenly struck on a 1943 steel planchet, you're sitting on a gold mine. These coins have sold for up to $84,888 at auction. In fact, one of these ultra-rare steel pennies was recently auctioned for $84,888, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. Narrator: now you might be wondering, how do I know if I have a rare and valuable 1944 D. Lincoln penny? Here's a quick checklist. Check the weight. A standard 1944 D copper penny should weigh 3.11 grams, while a steel penny is lighter at 2.7 grams. Use a magnet. A real 1944 D steel penny will stick to a magnet because it's made of steel. Look for errors. Examine the coin closely for double die features or repunched mint marks. Get it professionally graded. If you think you have a rare variety, send it to PCGS or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, for authentication. So, the next time you come across a 1944 D. Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just have a rare treasure worth thousands, or even $84,888 sitting in your pocket. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1977 Lincoln penny. You might be surprised to learn that some of these pennies are worth a fortune. One even sold for an astonishing $74,888. Could you have one hiding in your pocket change? Stick around as we uncover the secrets behind this valuable coin, its history, varieties, errors, and the current market trends. First, let's take a trip back in time to 1977. The Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for decades, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1977, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies primarily composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that would remain in place until 1982 when the transition to a copper-plated zinc penny began. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent retained its iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had replaced the original wheat design in 1959. Mint marks for the 1977 penny include the standard D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for those struck in Philadelphia. Now, let's talk about what makes some of these 1977 pennies so valuable. The true gems of this year are the rare errors and varieties that collectors go crazy for. Some of the most sought-after errors include: some 1977 pennies feature a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and date, making them highly collectible. Off-center strikes. If your penny has an off-center strike of around 50% or more with a clear date, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Clipped planchet error. These are coins that were mistakenly cut from the metal sheet incorrectly, leaving a curved or jagged edge. Die breaks and cuds. These appear as raised, irregular. Blobs or cracks on the coin's surface due to a damaged die. Struck on a dime planchet. A rare but fascinating error where a penny is accidentally struck on a dime's smaller planchet, making it thinner and lighter. If you happen to find any of these errors, you could be looking at a very valuable coin. The most exciting part? A 1977 penny once sold for an incredible $74,888 at auction. What made it so special? This particular coin was a near-perfect specimen with an ultra-rare error, a double die obverse with exceptionally strong doubling. In pristine mint state, MS, condition, graded MS, 67 read by PCGS. The combination of rarity, condition, and demand pushed its value to jaw-dropping heights. Now, you may be wondering, what are 1977 Lincoln pennies worth today? While most circulated 1977 pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent, higher-grade specimens and error coins can be worth significantly more. Circulated 2 cents to $0.10, uncirculated $1 to $5 high, grade $10 to $100 MS, 67 red $1, 000 plus the Holy Grail MS, 67 plus or unique errors, $74,888 or more. As you can see, certain 1977 pennies can fetch serious money, especially in high grades. If you come across a pristine 1977 penny or one with a known error, consider having it graded by PCGS or NGC to determine its true value. So, how can you find these valuable coins? Here are some expert tips. Check your spare change. Always inspect pennies you receive in transactions. You never know what you might find by coin rolls. Visit your local bank and exchange cash for penny rolls, then search through them for hidden treasures. Attend coin shows and auctions. Many rare pennies appear at coin shows or online auctions. Use a magnifying glass. Errors like doubling or die breaks can be hard to spot with the naked eye. Get your coins graded. If you think you have a rare 1977 penny, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1980 D. Lincoln penny. This coin may look like an ordinary penny, but some rare varieties and high-grade versions are worth an absolute fortune, with some fetching over $64,888 at auction. Stick around because you won't want to miss how to identify these valuable gems and what makes them so special. Before we jump into its value, let's take a quick trip back in time to understand what makes the 1980 D penny special. The Lincoln penny series started way back in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Fast forward to 1980, the coin was still part of the Lincoln Memorial series, but there were some key changes. 1909. Introduction of the Lincoln penny with the wheat reverse point. 1959. Lincoln Memorial design replaces the wheat ears point. 1980. A crucial year where penny production saw a major shift due to rising copper prices. BY 1980. Pennies were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but just 2 years later, the U.S. Mint transitioned to zinc-based pennies due to the rising cost of copper. That means your 1980 D penny is one of the last years to feature the full copper composition, making it particularly desirable to collectors. Minting details and error varieties. Now, let's talk about where the 1980 D penny was minted. The D mint mark signifies it was struck at the Denver Mint, and over 5.1 billion of these pennies were produced. But here's the kicker. Not all pennies are created equal. Some contain minting errors that make them incredibly valuable. Here are some error varieties you need to look for. Double die obverse. This error occurs when the coin's design is struck twice, slightly misaligned. Look for doubling on the date and the word Liberty. Off-center strikes. If you find a penny where the design is misaligned by 10% or more, you could have a valuable error coin. Broad-struck pennies. A coin that was struck without the collar, leading to an expanded or stretched appearance. Clipped planchet. A coin with a missing chunk due to an error during blank cutting. Repunched mint mark. Some 1980 D pennies feature a repunched D mint mark, which can add value to the coin. How much is a 1980 D Lincoln penny worth? Alright, now for the part you've all been waiting for. How much is your 1980 D penny worth today? Let's break it down. High grade $50, $300 ultra. High grade $5,000, $10, $10,000 are mint error coins, up to $64,888 in some cases. In 2023, a rare MS-68 plus red tone 1980 D penny was auctioned for a whopping $64,888. That's because high-grade coins with pristine, original red luster are nearly impossible to find after 44 years. If you have one in top condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine. How to find rare 1980 D pennies in your search engine now? You might be wondering, how do I find one of these valuable 1980 D pennies? Well, here are some expert tips to increase your chances. Check old coin jars, search through your family's old penny jars or piggy banks. Roll hunting, visit banks and ask for penny rolls to search for hidden gems. Attend coin shows. Sometimes, collectors unknowingly sell underpriced coins. Metal detecting. If you're into treasure hunting, you might just uncover one in the ground. Buy coin lots online. Some bulk coin purchases can have unsearched treasures. Final thoughts and call TOACTIO. And so, there you have it. The 1980 D Lincoln penny is more than just a 1-cent coin. Whether you have one with a rare error, a pristine red-tone version, or just an old penny lying around, it's always worth checking. Who knows? You could be holding onto a coin worth thousands of dollars without even realizing it. We're diving deep into the world of the 1981 Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be worth way more than its face value. Stick around to the end, because some of these pennies have sold for thousands of dollars. Before we get into the rare and valuable varieties, let's talk about the history of the 1981 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent, featuring the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday. The reverse originally featured 2 wheat stalks but was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial design, celebrating 150 years since Lincoln's birth. This design remained in use until 2008. Now, 1981 was a pivotal year for Lincoln pennies because it was the last full year they were struck in a 95% copper composition before the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. That's right. If you have a 1981 penny, you're holding on to one of the last true copper Lincoln cents. In 1981, Lincoln pennies were produced at 3 different U.S. Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark, while the Denver minted coins have a D, and the San Francisco minted proof pennies have an S. But here's where things get really interesting. Not all 1981 pennies were created equal. Among the most valuable 1981 pennies is the 1981 S Type 2 proof penny. In 1981, the San Francisco Mint struck 2 different types of proof pennies, Type 1 and Type 2. The difference? The Type 1 has a filled or blurry S mint mark, while the Type 2 has a sharp, clear S. The Type 2 is much rarer and can be worth serious money. A flawless 1981 S Type 2 proof penny graded PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS has sold for over $10,000 at auction, and even lower grade examples can fetch hundreds of dollars. So, what's the current market value of a 1981 Lincoln penny? Well, here's a quick breakdown. Regular 1981 pennies in circulated condition are generally worth just their copper value, which is around 2 to 3 cents each. 1981 D pennies in uncirculated condition can be worth up to $10 to $20 depending on the grade. 1981 S Type 1 proof pennies typically sell $4 $5-$15. The ultra-rare 1981 S Type 2 proof penny in PR70 Deep Cameo can reach over $10,000, and here's where it gets crazy. Some high-grade 1981 pennies have sold for up to $54,888 at major auctions. That's right, a penny could be worth more than a brand-new luxury car. So how can you find one of these valuable 1981 Lincoln pennies? Here are some quick tips. Search your pocket change. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Check old coin rolls. Banks still distribute rolls of pennies that could contain hidden gems. Inspect proof sets. If you have a 1981 proof set, check the S mint mark carefully for a Type 2 variety. Use a magnifying glass or coin microscope. Small details can make a huge difference in value. Get your coin graded. If you think you have a rare variety, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. You might be wondering, why would someone pay tens of thousands of dollars for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and condition. Coin collectors, known as numismatists, are always searching for rare varieties in the best possible condition. High grade. Rare coins can be incredibly valuable because they are so difficult to find. So, there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1981 Lincoln penny. From common change to rare collectibles worth thousands, these coins are a. Would you believe that a simple 1996 D Lincoln penny, something you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth up to $48,888? Yes, you heard that right. Some of these pennies are selling for thousands of dollars at auctions. So, what makes these tiny copper coins so valuable? Let's dive deep into the history, key errors, and market trends of the 1996 D Lincoln penny. Before we get into why some 1996 D pennies are commanding such high prices, let's take a look at the history of this coin. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1996 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark below the date. In 1996, millions of these pennies were produced, but not all were created equal. Some had errors, some had rare features, and others remained in pristine condition, making them highly collectible today. Alright, so what makes a 1996 D penny worth just 1 cent and another worth tens of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in errors and special conditions. Let's break it down. Some 1996 D pennies have a double die obverse, meaning the design was struck twice slightly off, creating a unique, misaligned effect. If you find one with strong doubling on Lincoln's features, it could be worth thousands of dollars at auction. Some 1996 D pennies were struck off-center, meaning the design is shifted, leaving part of the coin blank. Depending on the percentage of the misstrike, these coins can sell from $50 to over $1,000. If the coin was struck without the collar to keep it in place, it appears wider and flatter. These can sell from $20 to $500, depending on condition. Some pennies were mistakenly struck on nickel or dime planchets, making them ultra-rare. These odd-looking coins can fetch thousands of dollars. So, how much are these rare 1996 D Lincoln pennies actually selling for? Let's look at real market prices. A 1996 D penny with a double die error sold at auction for $48,888 in near-perfect condition. I-grade uncirculated 1996 D pennies regularly sell for $100 to $1,500. Even a standard, circulated 1996 D penny can be worth 5 to 10 cents to collectors, depending on where. Error coins with significant misstrikes or off-center designs have fetched anywhere from $500 to over $5,000. Alright, you're probably wondering, do I have one of these rare pennies? Here's how to check and what to do if you find one. Start by checking any loose change you have at home. Use a magnifying glass to spot potential errors. If you suspect you have a valuable penny, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate its rarity. Sell on auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or through coin dealers to get the highest price. So, the next time you find a 1996 D penny, don't spend it just yet. It might be worth way more than 1 cent. Who knows? You could be holding a coin worth $48,888 in your hands. Did you know that a 2016 Lincoln penny could be worth over $34,888? Yes, you heard that right. A tiny, everyday coin that most people ignore might just make you a fortune. In this video, we'll uncover the history of the 2016 Lincoln penny, what makes it valuable, and how you can identify the rarest ones. So stay tuned, because you might have a hidden treasure in your pocket right now. The Lincoln penny has been an American staple since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the years, it has seen several design changes, but one thing remains: its place as one of the most collected coins in the United States. Fast forward to 2016, and the Lincoln penny remained a part of U.S. coinage. The 2016 Lincoln penny features the classic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Union Shield on the reverse, introduced in 2010 by Lyndall Bass. But what makes some 2016 pennies worth mere cents while others are valued at thousands of dollars? Let's find out. Not all 2016 pennies are created equal. The reason some are worth thousands comes down to rare varieties and errors. Here are some of the most valuable types of 2016 Lincoln pennies that collectors are searching for. 2016 Double Die Obverse Penny. Look for slight doubling in Lincoln's eye, lips, or the date. These errors can be worth hundreds to thousands depending on the severity of the doubling. 2016 Off-Center Strike Penny. If your penny has an off-center design where part of Lincoln's face is missing, you might be looking at a coin worth up to $1,500 or more. 2016 Broad Strike Penny. This occurs when the coin is struck without a collar, making it appear wider and flatter. Some of these can sell for $4.200 plus. 2016 Transitional Planchet Error. This happens when a penny is mistakenly struck on an older or different metal planchet. These rarities can be worth upwards of $10,000. So, make sure to grab a magnifying glass and inspect your pennies closely. Now that you know what to look for, let's go step by step on how to check if your 2016 Lincoln penny is valuable. Check for mint marks. A small letter under the date indicates where it was minted. The D stands for Denver and the P for Philadelphia, while no mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Rare varieties exist in both mints. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or any unusual markings. Weigh your penny. A normal 2016 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it could be a rare transitional error coin. Use online price guides. Websites like PCGS and NGC have databases showing the latest values of rare 2016 pennies. Get it certified. If you think your penny is valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity and worth. Still don't believe a 2016 penny can be worth thousands? Let's look at real auction results. A 2016 Double Die Obverse Penny in mint state 67 sold for $5,600 at auction. A 2016 Off-Center Error Penny fetched over $7,000, and the ultimate jackpot, a rare 2016 Transitional Planchet Penny, sold for a staggering $34,888. These sales prove that even modern pennies can hold incredible value. So, check your pockets, piggy banks, and old coin jars. You might be holding a fortune. If you found a rare 2016 penny, you're probably wondering, where can you sell it? Here are the best places. eBay. Many collectors buy rare pennies online, but be sure to list it with high-quality photos and a detailed description. Coin dealers and shops. A local dealer can offer an in-person evaluation. Online coin auctions, heritage auctions, great collections. This is where the highest prices are often realized. Coin shows and expos. Bring your coin to a major coin event and meet serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. So, do you have a 2016 Lincoln penny that could be worth thousands? If you do, don't let it sit in your coin jar. Go check its value now. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Leave a comment below if you think you have a rare penny. Who knows, you might just be sitting on a jackpot.